a palindrome is a sequence that reads the same backwards as forward. So examples would be madam. So M-A-D-A-M reads the same way forward as it does backwards. Same with race car. Reads the same way forwards as it does backwards. And so let's get this started. So first things I want to do is I want to create a list. Strings. So I'll call it our strings. I'm going to create a list of strings. And it's going to have a bunch of palindromes within it, or just a bunch of strings within it that we're going to check to see if they are palindromes or not. So let's create a few. So we're going to put in some well-known ones. We're going to put in a couple other ones. Let's do let's do hungry, and we'll do race car. So well-known palindromes, okay? And some that are definitely not. So we create our list. We have our strings. So now what I want to do is I'm going to create a very simple function that's going to be called test pally. So we're going to test the palindromes, and it's going to take in our strings. Perfect. So I'm going to take in our strings. Now, in order to test if it goes the same way as forward, there's a few things we want to look at. So actually, I want to show you some of the logic before we keep going. So if we remember, we have our strings here, right? Palindrome, madam, internetgav, hungry, race car. And if you recall, I can index it. So I can take the very last one, or I can go from the first, get the first one and go all the way over. So a cool thing you do with strings is you actually can take them through indexing in reverse order. So if I take our strings, I get them now, the whole list, in reverse order. Race car, hungry, internetgav, madam, and palindrome. And so keep this in mind, because we're actually going to use the same logic to test if our strings are palindromes. So from this function, what I want to do is I want to return, and I'm going to create my own variable. So s, do they return? Yeah, we're going to do return s. If s equals s, reversed. So if s, so s you're going to see in a second actually. So let's finish this up so I can explain. For s in our strings. All right. So what does this all mean? So I don't want to do that. So for s in our strings, and if we remember in for loops, whenever you can basically choose whatever you want here, it's going to iterate through this list for us. So one by one by one. And as it goes through that, it's going to return the s value if it is equal to the s value in reverse, okay? So we're going to run that. And now what I want to do is I'm going to run my program here, and I'm going to type in our strings, okay? We're going to run it, and we're going to see that we have false, true, false, false, and true. So let's look back at it. So palindrome, yep, makes sense. Madam, yep, makes sense. It's true, false, false, and true. So that's how you use Python to check for palindromes.